All right, I think we are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Reading Sprints for the 25 Days of Romantasy Readathon. I'm a host. Amanda's a host, and we have two guests with us today. So why don't y'all go around, introduce yourself, where you're from, your channels, and what you'll be reading.
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda from Amanda's Booktopia. You can also find me on Instagram as ChoirGal17, and I am currently reading. I'm kind of in between two books right now. One of them is The Tale of the Heartbeat by Nisha J. Tooley. It's the fourth book in the Artifacts of Verano series that I am currently obsessed with. So I'm excited to continue that and finish out the series. And I'm also trying to finish listening to The Briar Club by Kate Quinn because I'm supposed to be in a live discussion for it tonight at 8 p.m. and I have not finished it. So I need to finish it.
Maybe you will on these sprints.
Oh yeah, and I live in Florida in the U.S. of A.
Okay, my turn.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Nina from the channel Nina Quill. I'm French, so I'm currently in France. It's 8 p.m. in here. And hi, Lynn. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for being here.
I'm currently reading this one. It's the French version of Bonded by Thorns, so you might recognize that better.
Yep, I know that one.
That one. So the French version is like this, and I'm loving it. I just started it. I'm like almost to page 100, and I'm loving it. I love it.
Your French editions are always so pretty.
They're so beautiful. I love it.
I'm so jealous of your French editions.
Hi everyone, my name is Diana from the channel Diana and the Book Hunt. I'm actually also in Europe. I'm in Sofia, Bulgaria, so I'm 1 hour ahead of Nina. So yes, we're quite close. And I have been reading Phantasma. I've both the ebook through Kindle Unlimited as well as the audiobook through Audible, so I'm doing both read along. And it's by Kaylee Smith, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm at chapter 42, so I'm quite close to the end. So I'm looking forward to finishing it this evening.
Nice. Well, thank you both for joining us all the way over in Europe. In the Europe.
The
Europe.
Europe.
Thank you for inviting us.
I'm just so used to saying the United States, so the Europe. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I knew it'd be easier to get people from overseas to join because it's afternoon here and everybody's at work. So luckily, let's see. Vanessa loves Phantasma. Are just talking about that. Have you read that, Nina?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I need to though. It's on the Goodreads Choice Awards.
It is, yeah.
Right? Yeah, so I need to read it.
It will get announced tomorrow, right? The results.
Really?
Do they?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow.
Is Phantasma spicy, Diana?
Yeah, a little. I wouldn't say it's very spicy. There's like 2 scenes so far. Yeah, it is spicy, I have to say. But
yeah. It's always hard to tell with romantasy. Are you gonna get lots of spice or are you gonna get no spice?
That's the thing. At least I'm like that. If the book has 1 or 2 spicy scenes and really there is a very good plot in it, I don't really pay too much attention to the spice. I know that it's there, but it's not like at the foreground of the story for me. So I will mostly remember the other things that made an impression on me. So if someone asks me if something is spicy, I can definitely remember that there's spice in the book, but how spicy it is, that's something that just escapes my attention.
I'd be able to tell you if I had read it, but I haven't read it.
I plan on doing so this month.
Well, I'd like to say I would, but I don't think I would. Thank you for coming over here to visit Nina. I am reading. What am I reading? I'm almost finished with an ebook of The Serpent and the Wolf, which is like a political fantasy romance. It's much more political than romance.
Really? I got this in my wish list.
Yeah. It's like arranged marriage. They start out already married, but they don't want to be, so they have to pretend to like be in love. So it's sort of like a arranged marriage, fake dating situation, but very political. And then audiobook wise, I'm hoping to finish the Ornithologist Field Guide to Love, which is cracking me up.
Oh, just wanted to share the cover of Serpent and the Wolf for you.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Thank you, Amanda.
I happened to get it during the buy two get one free sale at Target.
Vanessa says Phantasma gets spicier toward the end. So that
Becky, I love your tree.
Oh,
It's
thank
beautiful.
you.
Wow.
I said I picked this location because it's the most festive setting I have.
So beautiful.
So, and as it gets darker, you'll be able to see all the lights too. So hopefully we're done by the time it gets dark. So, all right. So I like to do 30-minute reading sprints. Is that good for you guys, or do you want to do longer?
No,
I'm
it's
fine
good.
with either.
That's good. Okay. Yes, everyone's spice scale is very different. So what one might consider spicy, another might not. Mhm. It's so cute. It's adorable. It is historical romance, though, so if that's not your thing. Okay, let me share my screen.
By the way, don't mind me. I'm going to be eating my dessert when we start reading because I've been craving. I made this thing yesterday, and I'm craving
What
to
is
eat it.
it? What is it?
In
Dessert?
Bulgaria, we make this pumpkin dessert, which is made out of uh, fill dough, I think it's called, and we fill it with
Ooh.
pumpkin spices, sugar, walnuts, and powdered sugar, and it's so good.
Wow.
And
Sounds
it's
good.
my favorite dessert ever. And I made it yesterday, but then I had to work today all day. So I came home and I was like, I need to eat you.
It sounds so good. It sounds so good. Wow.
Okay, here we go.
That
My thing wasn't set up to share. Is it sharing? There we go. Okay. Good. All right. Let's see y'all in 30 minutes. Did it share it?
It doesn't look like.
Not
Oh,
yet.
come on now. Why are you being so technically difficult? See, this is what I was telling Amanda. I haven't done reading sprints in so long.
Click on present and then share screen.
I did that. Oh my god. Hold on. There we go.
Yes.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah. Oh my god, what is that? That's so
Little
cute.
snowman race. Oh no. Amanda, your little snowman one. So how'd everybody do on reading?
I am 4 hours and 44 minutes into the Briar Club. It says it's over 15 hours. I may have to speed up the audiobook.
How about you?
I just reached page 100 right now.
Are you liking it?
Yeah, it's still
Hi,
good.
Lily.
Yeah.
That's a wide shoes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like wide shoes?
I'm not sure. I haven't read a lot yet, but for now it's it's great.
Yeah.
It's fine for now.
It's fine. Hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah.
Diana, how did you do?
I got to chapter 47. So I am nearly at the end. And I have to say, when we just started, we got to the spiciest scene in this book. So yes, it's spicy. It's definitely spicy.
And what page are you at?
300, what is it? 370.
How long's the book?
Not too long. On my Kindle, it's 390. So 20 more pages.
Oh.
Okay. You think it's going to be a 5-star read?
I'm leaning more towards 4.5. It really depends on how it's going to end because I've really been enjoying it. But at the same time, there are certain things like these very, how do I explain it? Like very big statements made by the hero, like very big corny things that he says. I don't know how to express it.
I've heard those.
And he says it also in the middle of the spicy scenes where you're like, it's just awkward, you know? It's just really awkward when it gets to that point. So that's the thing that's kind of throwing me off. But otherwise, when it comes to the plot, I'm really enjoying that part. So I think it's like 4.5 stars so far.
Is it the one is there trials in there?
Yeah.
Again?
I have to say that for the first time, it feels a bit different because
Yeah.
even though you have the same kinds of setup, so I don't want to spoil too much, but it does remind me of other books when it comes to the trials because of the characters that are introduced in those trials, but at the same time, because the heroine has a different kind of ability, she's a necromancer. And it's just a bit different. It's not corny to me when it comes to the trials.
That's good. I just started Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I really didn't know that book one had trials in there in it, and they were so useless. Trials in book one, and I was just like, why? Why is there trials?
I can completely imagine that the people who read it back when it came out, that then it was really kind of
Yeah,
intriguing, right? But
yeah.
now that we've read so many of these books with similar kinds of plot lines, it's kind of like yeah, another one. Is it
Exactly.
necessary?
Exactly.
I forgot about the trials in Throne of Glass.
I don't even remember if Hunger Games came out before or after before.
It had to
Throne
have
of
come
Glass.
out before. I can't
So
remember though. I got introduced to Throne of Glass like 2 years ago. So I can't remember. But now that you mention the trials, I'm like, oh yeah, those were in there. And they were kind of useless. Nina got this really cool Sarah J. Maas Advent calendar
yeah,
that I am.
right there. Wait, it's so heavy, and it was so expensive.
That's
But
what I thought when I saw it. I was like, oh, I bet that thing was
yeah,
pricey.
it's expensive, but I bought it because my YouTube channel is like my work, so like I was like, it's work expense.
There you go.
Mhm.
Write it off.
So yeah, here it is.
Wow,
Oh, it's so pretty.
that's
Do you
stunning.
like the things that you've gotten in it so far?
Yeah, for now it's really good and it's worth the price, so I'm happy with it. It's all Sarah Jima's merch. I, as I said, I just started Throne of Glass. I read all of Akotar and I started Crescent City. So some of the things I'm like, I'm not sure what this is about, but yeah, sure. Became the spoilery, but yeah, no, it's really worth it. It's really good.
What was your favorite thing so far from it?
Um, the first thing was a snow globe. It's like I don't know if you have seen in my videos. It's
I
like a
did,
snow
yeah.
globe, but with the Illyrian mountains in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so pretty. I love it.
And then I saw you got like socks.
Yeah, this
What
the
was
Throne
the
of
third
Glass
thing?
socks too. Yeah.
Was it a scarf? The third thing?
No, it's like a fabric that you can wrap. Sorry for my dog.
Oh, okay.
It's a fabric that you can wrap around books, around stuff
Oh,
to
okay.
wrap.
Gotcha.
It was Crescent City, and today it was a tote bag with all of the Sarah Jimas universe. It
I
was so
saw that. That
pretty.
was very pretty.
Yeah,
I was like, I looked at that. I was like, where did she get that? And then I was like, oh, I can't afford that.
the calendar.
I love how all of you have these bookish advent calendar things going on this month, and the only advent calendar that I have in my home is a Pokemon advent calendar for my son. So
It must
I'm
be
going
great
to,
though.
yeah, I'm going to live through your videos, your posts about yours.
I wasn't expecting one because my sister gave me a 24 book advent last year. And so I was like, okay, well, I got that. And so I wasn't expecting one. Then she got a package in the mail. She's like, oh, crap. I forgot I ordered that for you back in like summer.
That's
So
really sweet of
it
her.
came from somebody's Etsy shop in the UK. They like curated 24 books. So far
But
they've been
do they do it like on the basis of books that you have read, or how do they do it?
I have no idea. I think my sister might have told them romance books, but I'm not entirely sure. But so far I haven't read any of the 4 books I've gotten.
Any intriguing ones?
I got Dragonfall
Ooh,
yesterday, which I didn't know anything about, but reading the back of it,
Hmm.
it sounds like a fantasy romance.
I've heard really good things about that one.
Let me
It was
see.
sweet of her, Abby. So I just thought it was a fantasy, but sounds like it's a fantasy romance.
Yeah, I heard it's romantic.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, dragons have been in this year.
Yeah, ever since
Right? And Fear the Flames has been popular.
yeah, I want to read that one.
Well,
I
A
did.
Few Flames by Olivia. Uh, what was it? Rose Darling.
Yeah, Livy Rose
Is that
Darling.
it?
I have a copy of
I
it.
don't want to tell you. I finished it like 2 days ago, and it was not for me. It was not good.
Oh no! Don't say that.
Really?
No, I
April's with you, Diana. She's living
I
vicariously.
understand that there will be people who love this book, but for me, maybe it's a personal me thing. I really hated this book. I really hated it.
Oof,
That's not good.
that's not good.
I started it. I started it once, and I thought it was really uh, like every romantasy I've ever read, but not very well done at the beginning. But I want to try again because everyone loves it, so I'm trying.
I am not sure, and this is where I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because I read the traditionally published one. I
Oh,
know that in the beginning of the year it was independently published, and it was like, if I'm not mistaken, 150 or more pages longer than what the trad published book is. So I'm not sure whether a lot was lost in the editing process, because for me just the world building was non-existent, and then it's like, am I reading a fantasy or just a contemporary with a couple of dragons in it? What am I reading? I'm not sure. So
Okay.
that's where it kind of got muddled for me.
Did you read Fourth Wing though?
Yeah.
And you liked that one?
Yeah, it was okay. I think the world building in that one at least is better because you get really to see the academy and the found family thing with the characters. You really get to meet those characters and they have a backstory somehow. So it was slightly better built than it's not a favorite of mine though. So it was just an okay read for me. But then this one just, I didn't get it.
Gotcha. Because I did not like Fourth Wing.
I love Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I already have Onyx Storm pre-ordered.
I
I love
actually
that.
liked Iron Flame better than Fourth Wing, which is an unpopular opinion
Oh,
as
yeah.
far as I understand from everyone. But I think the more that the world gets expanded, the better understanding you have of it. But with this one, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be picking up the second book because I just didn't get anything out of it.
Maybe the stuff that they cut out of the first book
That's
will
the
be in the
thing.
second
I'm
book.
not sure. I'm not sure whether I missed out on. I maybe should have read the first version.
I don't know. I'll listen to it on audiobook. I won't spend my money on it. Let's say that.
That's the thing with audiobooks. I don't know what kind of services you all use because in Europe we're very disadvantaged in certain ways when it comes to audiobooks. We do have Storytel, which is great because it does have a large variety of audiobooks and you pay like a Netflix subscription fee every month and you get an entire library available to you, which is really good. But then all the Audible exclusive, the Audible only books will only be available through Audible and they're quite expensive if you don't have Audible Plus.
Yeah.
So what I do typically is around this time of year, I resubscribe to Audible. Then I get a credit. And around Black Friday, it gives you the option to buy credits for almost half the price. So I bought like 5 or 6 credits for half the price. And then I got all the books that I couldn't get for through Storytel. So now I have all the romantasy books that are not available to me, and then I can read them.
There's your
That's so
financial
smart.
advice for the day, everybody.
Yeah,
Diana's got you covered.
that's so
So you
smart.
gotta save money.
Audible for in the U.S. I don't know if it's still going on, but they had like a huge sale on like lots of audiobooks. And so my fiance listens to audiobooks, and sometimes I listen with him. But it's since we use his Audible, we got like a whole bunch of like books for really good price, like around $5 or so per book or less. So I got like we got the whole Blood and Steel series by Helen Shore.
Ah, it's so good.
So I
I love
love the
it.
first one. I need to continue that. And then we also got the first book of Helen Shore's other series.
Yeah.
Because it sounded really good, and we didn't want to get the whole series if you didn't like the first one, but the first one sounded really good. And then I can't remember what else we got.
Is it
Couple-
only for Audible
yeah.
subscribers? I don't know. I don't use Audible.
I don't know for certain, but if you look on there, it will tell you.
No, it is because if you don't have it, it will show you the regular price of the book. It might get some kind of a discount, but not the large one that the Audible subscribers get.
Yeah, my fiance has the he subscribes to Audible, so he gets the credits and everything. So like they just happen to have like a huge sale. It was like 82% off of like audiobooks. So we kind of went on a little bit of a shopping spree. We got
I
a
know.
Audible does a great sale in the US, but when it comes to Europe and the UK, it's completely different pricing. So if I compared, if you check like for example, the Niva Altage series. They were going on sale in the US for like $3 to $4. In the UK, it was £8 to £9, which is around $10. So the prices are quite different, and that's why, if at least internationally speaking, if you get the option to buy credits for less money, it's actually better value to buy the credits and then use them on the book instead of buying it.
I need to try that.
Yeah.
Do you
Thank you.
guys get that whisper sync through Kindle Unlimited in the Europe? Stop saying
No,
in the Europe, Becky. Is it
no.
Europe?
The Europe, the USA, and the Europe.
Yeah. Do you guys get whisper sync with Kindle Unlimited over there?
I'm not sure. I never.
No.
I'm not sure we have that.
Do you know how difficult it was to get Kindle Unlimited in the first place,
Yeah.
at least for me?
Yeah.
Because Kindle Unlimited is only available in the UK and in Germany and in Italy and in Spain. And I'm in Bulgaria, so I cannot subscribe to
Ugh.
it. But then my best friend lives in Italy, so I pay her the whole year subscription.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
and then I'm signed up through the Italian account. So everything that I have on my Kindle is in Italian.
Can you read Italian?
I actually can. I understand
cool.
quite a bit, but obviously I read the English books. So yeah,
Right.
but it's an interesting roundabout way of me getting to KU books.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I cheat the system with library. I got like a free library card from California.
Oh yeah.
I
But
don't
I
live in
think
I
that this
California.
is
tried doing that.
possible for many US libraries, right? You can even like
Yeah.
if in your state, at least I know my friend does that who lives in Rhode Island. He is like his state allows him to have a library. He needs to pay a fee for it though. I think it's like 40
Oh
or
no,
50
I don't
a
pay
year.
for mine.
No?
It's free. No, they ask you for an address, and I just go to Zillow and I find a home that's for sale on Zillow.
Ooh.
And then I
Well,
put that in the address because they don't ask for ID or anything. They just ask for an address. I just give them an address that's in California,
but
and then
I
I
what
give them
I
the
happened?
tried
library
doing
card.
that. I tried. I need to. I don't know if no, it won't work in France. It doesn't work. I tried getting Libby and all those things because we basically don't have any of this in France, and it immediately just gets on my phone and like you are in France, so you can. Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
I
Europe
wonder
has a lot
if
of
you got a
restrictions,
VPN
a
and
lot of the
changed your
countries.
location if you could do that.
The VPN thing, yeah, I tried to, and it
It
wouldn't
didn't
work
work.
either. So
Sucks.
I
That's
have to know though, Becky. When you go to the Zillow and you
painful.
use one of their addresses, how do you know that address isn't already being used?
I don't, but the library gives me the card, so I don't care.
you try anyway.
They just want I guess they want you to sign up and give them an address for that city. And they're like, "Okay, sure. Here's your library card."
You're lucky they don't ask for ID.
They don't, because it's for like a free online. Like if you wanted to go in and get the books physically, you would have to show them ID. But because it's an online one, they don't ask for ID. So
I think there's one in Boca Raton, Florida that you could also do that for.
yeah, that's where I got it, April. It's from the San Jose Library. Never been to San Jose in my life. But according to them, I'm a resident in like this $2 million home. Because they have such a better selection of library books than what I have here in New Jersey. So that's how I cheated that system.
That's funny.
Oh.
And also, there's another audiobook service that my fiance uses. It's called Bard. I am not sure if it's through like all of the US. I assume so. It's for people who have visual disabilities. All you have to do is prove that you have a visual disability, and you get to be added to their library system. and you get to any audiobook they have you listen to for free, completely, as long as you can prove you have some kind of visual disability.
What's that called?
Bard. I don't know.
BARD.
I know it's in the U.S. I don't know if it's overseas or not, but you could look into it maybe.
I've never heard
My
of that.
fiance is completely blind, so you just had to prove it.
So I know that, so that's maybe interesting for you guys in America. Storytel is typically available in Europe, but you can definitely get it with VPN in the States. Where the best thing you can do is, if you do get the subscription, use VPN where you can sign up to the Storytel app in India, because India, the second language there is English, so they have the biggest catalog of English audiobooks. And I have to tell you, there's just so many audiobooks that are available through Storytel. The subscription costs for me here in Bulgaria, it's around $7 or $8 a month. And I have to tell you that I read maybe 10 or 12 audiobooks every month with it.
Oh, wow.
So it's really, really worth like the value of the money that you spend for it. It's really, really good.
We're just dishing all the scope here. Ways to save yourself money on these audiobooks.
Yeah, but they're really expensive. I love listening to audiobooks, especially because throughout the day when you're cooking or cleaning or shopping or whatever, or even working, you can put in an audiobook and you cannot read physically. So it's really, really good to have them available to you. But here we don't have the libraries that you guys have, and we don't have those options. So we need to find ways to get to the audiobooks that we can listen to. So yeah, Storytel is a very good service.
I've heard of Storytel, but I've never looked into it.
Same.
So I use Everand here, and they did something. They updated their thing now, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that.
But I was gonna upgrade because they're like, oh, if you upgrade to like $16.99, you get like the premium catalog, which is like the new release popular books or whatever. And I wanted to do that, and they were like, well, you can't do it because you have all these referrals stacked up from people using your code. They're like, but we can cancel that and you can start using the. I'm like, no. Give me my free months, thank you. I have sent people over there to get you signed up. I want my free referrals, thanks.
Is it the one that was called Scribed?
Mm-hmm.
It changed. Okay.
Yeah. I still sometimes call it Scribe too, or Scribed or whatever.
Scribed, yeah.
But I have to remember it's Everand.
It's kind of. I don't like the new name. I like Scribd better.
I don't either. I liked Scribd better too. Yeah, I use that, and then if I don't use that, then I use Libby or Hoopla. And if I can't get anything through those, then I'll try Libro FM.
Explain to me, what is the difference between Libby and Hoopla?
Not much, honestly. They're both through library systems.
Yeah.
It's just some libraries don't use Hoopla. They only use Libby.
Well, I don't know if it's the same for you, Becky, but on Hoopla for me, it only gives you like 5 per month.
Oh, I don't know. I've only ever listened to like 1 per month, so.
But you can only like for me, I've looked into it, and I've been using Hoopla here and there for audiobooks, but yeah, it only lets me take out 5 per month, and then the next month you can do another 5, but it's a little bit more limited. You don't get like a whole bunch. Well, it's kind of similar to Libby in that way, because you can only get so much out at once.
I think with Hoopla, you don't have to wait in a queue.
Yeah.
For like the next person to get it's available right away.
You have so many options, and here in the Europe,
yeah,
we don't even have libraries. We don't have libraries. We don't have anything. Like libraries, there's just 2 kids' books inside, and that's it.
Oh, sad.
They don't know about audiobook.
See, we're kind of lucky to live where we live.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I have to say I'm really jealous. I'm really jealous because, like, for example, now with Black Friday in the US, every single book outlet, whether it be shops or Amazon or wherever you can get books, you get such good deals to buy so many books. And here it's like we get 15% off of like books that were popular 10 years ago.
That's why in France we've got a law actually that you can't sell books on discount.
Oh no.
So we have like 5% sometimes from some bookshops, but that's all. That's like 5% and that's all.
Oh, wow.
That's so annoying.
We are punished. We are punished here.
Yeah.
What does like a typical hardback cost you in France?
It's like, I think the prices are kind of like Canada.
Okay.
It's like 30 euros.
Okay.
So that would be like, yeah,
Yeah,
20 something dollars or more, like around $30 actually
that's not
for
too
a
different from
hardback.
America then.
But yeah, no discount ever.
Yeah. But your books are so pretty too.
Yeah, no.
It's like for if we were to walk into a store and get that Bonded by Thorns edition, it'd be
Yeah,
like $38.
it's like, oh yeah, it's 26 euros. So it would be, yeah, 26, $27, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at buying, but I've stopped buying hardcovers because I cannot justify the price. But I was looking at the new Carissa Broadbent book.
Oh yeah.
What was it called?
Oh,
The
I have that
Songbird
too.
something.
That's a comment for you, Nina, because I can't
Yeah.
French.
they wanted me to explain the law about the discount. Everyone is just, we're just outraged by the law that we can't ever have a discount on books. It's so annoying.
Disaster.
That's
Like,
so
tell them.
yeah. See, it's so nice to like meet people from all over the world, and then you kind of, people complain about living in America, and then we're like,
Right?
you see,
That's why I love this
we have
community.
perks.
Yeah.
You have a lot of perks. When it comes to books, you have a lot of perks.
Yeah, that's nice though.
You have a bad president, but
Yeah.
you have perks.
Don't get us started on that, Nina.
That is awful.
But we have lots of good book perks.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered, has Donald Trump ever read a book?
Oh my god.
I don't
Can
pay any
he
attention.
even?
Or maybe it is if it's about him.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Oh. All right.
Let
Well,
me ask you this because I'm about to finish my book, and I think I need to go into another one. Have you read? Because I've got a couple lined up. I've got Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mass. That one is also a fantasy.
That was in a that was in the Goodreads
In the
thing.
Goodreads Choice Awards, yes.
But
But I
I
think
never saw it.
Hercules is a woman in this one.
ooh.
I think. So that's what got me intrigued.
Yeah. What's your other option?
The other option is the Carissa Broadbent new book, The Songbird.
That's the culprit. Here he is.
Oh, he's so
puppy.
cute.
That's my son.
They both sound good.
He looks just like you. He's so cute.
I know Jack's honest fiction with
No furry.
I would go with.
I don't know what I would pick because I still haven't read the Actresses Circle.
Yeah.
I've got a couple. So I've got The Book of Azrael by Amber Vinico. I've got also The Sword of Kaigan, which is fantasy. That one is not a romantasy. And I've also got Quicksilver. So all the hyped books and one that is not very hyped.
Do Quicksilver. I
Yeah,
loved it.
Quicksilver?
Yeah,
I'd say do
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver
I
because
really enjoyed
everybody's loved
Quicksilver.
that.
I really loved it.
You know.
And by the way, I don't know if you heard, but it's going to be a movie on Netflix.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
saw
That's what they
it.
said.
Yes, I saw it.
But
Yeah.
they said that for Akutao too and for
Yeah,
King, and I'm not
and we're
sure they're
still
gonna
waiting for
ever
that.
do it. Yeah, will they ever do it?
Yeah, that's with the movies, at
I
least
really
that's what I
enjoyed it.
understood is that they buy the rights
Yeah,
and you really need to keep like your
Yeah.
fingers crossed that it's going to come out of it because it takes years for them to actually create the script and everything. And by the time that it gets to actually be a production, uh, everything could have fallen through because it could be budgeting that is not working. It could be that a lot of people who are working on it decide not to work on it. So it's
yeah,
really difficult to make a movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'd go with
Yeah.
I'd vote Quicksilver because that's the
Quicksilver.
popular
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I
I
love
haven't
Yeah.
read
Quicksilver also.
And it's really snowy with a lot of snow and everything. So it's
Oh,
great for
okay.
this
Yeah,
season.
it's
You
perfect for
told
this
me.
time of year.
Yeah,
it. It'll
It
fit right
is
in
a
with your
20-hour audiobook,
yeah. It's a bit long, but it's
but
really
I'm
good.
gonna go for it.
atmosphere. Okay.
Yes.
Should we
I would love for
start
you to read
another
it.
30-minute sprint?
Sure.
Sure.
Maybe you'll finish your current book and you'll be able to start that one.
Yes.
I need to
Let
speed
me
up
see
my
if I can
audiobook.
share my screen this time. Oh, look, it shared at that time.
The snowmen are sending me. It's so funny.
Oh
They're
yeah,
little ones.
didn't you say, Becky, that my snowman won the last time?
Yeah, I was watching him cross the thing, and the guy next to your picture won. So,
That's funny.
all right, I'll see you guys in 30 minutes.
Yes.
Happy reading.
Oh my gosh, my internet kept going out.
I noticed that.
I don't know if my internet was going out, but like my computer kept screwing up. Sorry about that, y'all. Nina had to leave us. It was nice having her.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys do? I almost finished my audiobook. I have 5 minutes left.
At least I'll get to finish it in the next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do one more sprint just so I can finish it.
I got another. I sped up my audiobook to like 2 times the speed, so I got like at least an hour more in by doing that. And I need to because I have until 8 o'clock tonight.
Are you liking it?
It's interesting. I'm not sure if I love it. I haven't decided. Right now, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Even if I don't finish it in time, I might still go just to see what people think.
Yeah. Did you finish your book, Diana?
I've got 14 minutes left. I think it's like 3 pages off of the last chapter and then the epilogue.
Damn it, we were so close.
Very close.
Both of you are so
But I
close.
got to the twist, and I am just horrible at predicting twists. So I was surprised. I think that a lot of people could have predicted it, but I'm surprised. So I'm liking it, how it's ending.
Well, that's good.
I'm not very good at predicting twists either.
Sometimes I am. It depends on what type of book it is. Like sometimes for thrillers, I could predict part of the twist, but not like the whole twist. Like for example, when I read The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, I guessed one part by the end, but the rest of it completely blew my mind.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm not a big thriller reader, but when I do read a thriller, I'm like, oh, that wasn't so bad because I never guessed what's gonna happen.
Right?
Yeah, just last month I did one Frida McFadden book because I wanted to see what the hype is about because this woman, she's been cracking out books like crazy.
Right?
And I didn't get it.
Which one did you read?
The latest release, The Boyfriend.
Oh yeah, that's one that I just mentioned. That like the way it ended, I'm like, wait, I hate open endings. Why did you have to do that to me?
I know what you mean, but yeah, for me, it just got a bit weird in the end. Like I liked that there was a twist in the end that I couldn't predict who done it, right? But at the
Right.
same time, it just really ended in a very weird way.
Yeah. Like I wish I don't understand why people think open endings is such a good idea because it leaves a lot more to be desired, and people are like, but hold on, I need to know that like this isn't. I need this wrapped up in a bow, please.
Yeah.
You're supposed to use your imagination, Amanda.
Well, I don't always
You're
get
like,
along with
screw the imagination. I want to know what the author intended.
exactly. Like the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Why did you do that to me?
Sometimes I think they do it like hoping, oh, if this does good, then can write a sequel.
Well,
Yeah.
not everybody does.
Yeah, no.
So it's like when they don't do a sequel, I'm like, but why? Like another open ending that drove me crazy. You're not supposed to die tonight by Kaylin Bayron. Love the book until that ending. I'm like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah. And then there's those books that actually did have a good ending, but then the author decides to write more books anyway.
Yeah, sometimes I think some things are best as standalones,
Yeah.
and
True.
then they never are.
I'm
Some
actually
people say,
I'm missing having more standalone fantasy books, just one book. It can be a large book. I don't care. I'm gonna read 1,000 pages, but just have it be one book and not like seven where I need to wait 2 years in between each book.
Right?
Right. Series are series are so hard.
Right? At least with Carissa Broadbent, she's even though it I can't remember when she announced the third book before it came out, but she's been pretty good about being consistent about bringing the books pretty close together and not spreading it way apart. Because some
Yeah,
authors that spread it way apart, it's like, what's the point of reading it?
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. But then you've got those cases like Rebecca Yarros with Fourth Wing, where people are pushing so hard for the next book that I think she's not having enough time to really write it in the way that she's supposed to write it, right? So I think this pressure, they're putting a lot of pressure on her to get the next book out, and it's not gonna be the same quality if they just left her alone and let her just write what she's supposed to write. So it's a bit
Yeah,
of both, right? Because you want to have the book as soon as possible, but you don't want to have a crappy book. You just want
yeah, like you want it to
same
be like
quality.
perfected and make sure it's all going to be good before you put it out to to the world.
Authors just need to have these series already written before they get published.
I've
So
heard
that way
some
they can
people do
just
that.
publish them all at the same time.
Is it too much to ask?
Is that too much? No, it's
I
not.
think I heard Frida McFadden. I think I can't remember where I heard her from, but I heard that she like writes all of her books like pretty close together, so that's why she pumps them out so much because they're already written. So she's like, um, so I heard that she does that.
Yeah, but I can imagine that she can do it because the kinds of books that she writes are not the most complicated ones. The only thing that you need to have within the plot are like uh the one or two plot twists that are very important, then you work around them. While when you have like a fantasy book that needs to refer back to everything that happened in the previous books, you just have a lot of research to do and a lot of
Yeah,
just editing and everything. So I can imagine that, Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros and everyone just they don't have the same luxury.
right. I wonder. I wonder when Sarah J. Maas is going to have a new book out too, because I heard that there's going to be a new book in the ACOTAR series.
Would be nice.
I
It better be Azrael's book.
heard. I heard potentially it could be out in November of next year,
Ooh, sounds good.
so that would be interesting. And I don't know if he's going to continue the Crescent City series. I mean, a lot of people really did not like House of Flame and Shadow, and
I didn't like that series in general.
I wonder if she's going to do the last House of Many Waters, and do Tharion's story.
I haven't read that one yet because I want to finish Throne of Glass and then move on to the Crescent City books. But
Right.
I think whatever she releases, everyone's gonna pick it up anyway. So
Yeah,
Most likely,
that's true.
because people
yeah,
are invested in the characters from like the first book, so they're like, okay, let me just see what this one's going to be like.
for sure, for sure.
But out of all of her series, Throne of Glass is my favorite.
I
Mine
need to
was
finish that.
ACOTAR.
Wait, what?
I said mine was ACOTAR.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys were talking at the same time. I'm like, huh?
Which one did you like the most, Becky?
It's a toss up. It just depends on like my mood. Sometimes I like Mist and Fury the most, and then other times I like Silver Flames the most.
Yeah.
Just depends. I do love Silver Flames though. I listened to the
Same.
graphic audios for all of them finally. And the graphic audio of Silver Flames just made me cry for some reason. Like I didn't cry reading it physically, but listening to it made me cry.
I need to reread them with the graphic audios because Storytel does have the graphic audios for them. And I actually read ACOTAR maybe like, what is it now, 3-4 years ago now. So I think it's a good time to reread it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to reread it too at some point because I wanted to listen to the graphic audios on those also. And Silver Flames is my favorite one out of the series.
It's like I love Nesta and Cassian, but I also love Feyre and Reese. So it's just a toss up of who I'm in the mood for.
I
Yeah.
almost DNF'd the first book a while back, and then my friend Dana, she encouraged me to give it another try. So I did, and the third book the first book I ended up giving 3 stars.
I had the
It
same
wasn't.
experience. Yeah. I was adamant I was not going to read that because it had fairies in it, and I was so anti-fairy. I was like, I hate fairies. And so my
Yeah.
mom actually bought it because we share
Uh,
a Kindle account. And I'm like, why
right.
did you buy this, Mom? It's fairies. She's like, oh, I thought it looked historical. Okay. So it was on my Kindle, and I was like, I'm not going to read that. And then I tried it, and I DNF'd it. And then a couple years later, I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try again, DNF'd it. And then I saw some fan art of Rhysand, and I was like, how is this? So then I read it, and I gave it like 3 stars, and then I
Yeah.
went on and became obsessed.
Yeah, the rest of the series definitely gets better because I had the same experience with the first book, and then I was determined not to finish the series. But my friend Dana told me give it another shot, so I did. And I ended up liking the rest of the series better.
Yeah.
I read the whole series in like a week.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah,
Same,
for sure.
same. But I'm just like, I am so ambivalent to Azriel. I just, I don't understand the hype around him. He's so
Blah.
blah. He has no personality.
I know that's what I thought.
I don't know. I feel like or at least for me, it felt like there is an obvious mystery around him to kind of keep him in the shadows so that when his time comes, that he gets, to shine. So I don't know. It's the mystery for me. I don't know. He's not my favorite. Reese is my favorite, but I still am kind of yearning to see what's going to be his story. I want to see what's going to happen with him.
Like, I'm sure she's gonna be able to write a story that's gonna be like, okay, I changed my mind. But if you were to ask me, would you rather have Tamlin or Azriel? I would pick Tamlin.
Same. Even though I did not like Tamlin, I would
Although
rather read about him.
I also would like to see Lucian. Was it Lucian's story?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
that was
yes.
Yeah.
I
that
would
was
pick
my
any
favorite.
of them over Azriel, really.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
really liked Lucian, so I definitely would be interested in reading his story.
I like him too.
But
And the
so I'm so afraid when it comes to when you fall in love with different characters within books, right? And they all get their own story. And typically what they do is leave the most intriguing or mysterious character for last. And
yeah.
typically that's the most disappointing story of them all. So I'm kind of afraid of what she's gonna do.
Yeah. I think at this point, people are just like, who's his mate? I don't care about anything else. Just tell us who his mate is.
Yeah. I had this with I just recently read the last book off of the LC Silver Chestnut Spring series, the fifth book.
Uh-huh.
So, in the first and second book, you get all the hype with one of the brothers, and you are expecting his book, and we get to hear that it's going to be the last book, obviously.
Right.
And by the time that I got to the fifth book, to me, it was obvious that she had switched up his love interest, and that it wasn't the thing that it was supposed to be. And for me, it was such a disappointment because it's like you're waiting for that one story, and then it's
Right.
just not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I only
I
read the
haven't.
first book of that series.
I read Flawless. It's the only one I've read so far. I actually really enjoyed Flawless. I think I gave that 4 stars.
Yeah.
I did too. I enjoyed it, but I just never had any desire to continue on with the series for some reason.
Mm.
And
I
now
enjoyed
so
it.
many of the books are out. I'm like, oh, good lord. I don't want to continue on with this many books now.
And now they have the next generation that they've started with Wild Eyes,
Yeah. I'm like, no,
or Wild Love, and then Wild Eyes.
I just don't think
Yeah.
I'm ever gonna go back to it. It's too
I
many.
liked a couple of the books off of the Chestnut Spring series. A couple of them I didn't like, but then I'm curious to see what Wild Love is going to be because it's like a single dad something music related. So something a bit different than the Ranch guys from the first couple of books. So yeah, I'm gonna try it out, but I have to say that the second book within the Chestnut Spring series, that one was for me was the best.
Right. Yeah, I've heard really great things about Wild Love, even more so than the original series.
I'm gonna give it a try next year. This year is already fully booked.
Next year, that's the plan. Next year.
Yeah, I put everything off to like the next year.
Yeah.
I'll just be surprised if I manage to get any books read this month. Like
Yeah,
it's the 4th and I haven't finished anything.
yeah,
Let's
same.
plan on it. You're gonna finish
I'm
the
gonna finish
audiobook.
one today for sure.
You're almost done.
I'm almost done with that, and then I'm like 88% into The Serpent and the Wolf, so I
I'd
could
love to hear
easily
your
knock
thoughts
that
on
out.
that.
I'm liking it. I think, yeah, I'm gonna be curious about my thoughts too. I'm liking it, but I'm not sure if it's like a 4-star. I don't think it's a 5-star,
Right.
but I think it's a solid 4-star at least so far. Unless
I
the
saw
ending just totally sucks.
I saw Cassie from Courage with Cassidy read it, and I think she gave it like a 3.5.
Mm-hmm. It surprised me because I'm more of I want more of the romance than anything else in a
Yeah.
fantasy romance. And
Yeah.
this is so political heavy that it surprised me.
You know, um, Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life, she recommended this year the Jade City series by Fonda Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is really politically heavy, and there is hardly any romance in it. And typically, I don't read these kinds of books because I'm the same as you. I'm looking for the romance. I'm waiting for the
Right.
romance to happen. But that one, so that series is just superb. Really, I was so surprised that I managed. Like, I was so immersed into it. All the books are like 500-600 pages, and I read them in like 4 days.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't stop. I was on holiday, I have to say, but oh,
Yeah, my fiance read that series too, and he really loved it also.
it's really, really good. Really
He's
good.
not huge into romance either, and so he prefers, very little romance. Like, he doesn't mind it sometimes, but he prefers without. And he really loved that series, and he said I should read it too. And he said I should read The Sword of Kaigen
Yeah,
because he wants to read it with me.
I
But
have the audiobook now. I got it off of Audible, and I have the physical copy, and I think I'm going to read it soon because everyone has been recommending it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like Jess from Honest Fiction, she devoured The Sword of Kaigen and said like it devastated her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh boy. I
Yeah.
know, um, like I want to read it because my fiance wants to read it with me, and he's been wanting to get into it, and I'm like, I don't have time right now. I have so many other books I need to read first.
Yeah.
See, I'm wary about that because if Jess liked it, chances are I won't. Because that's how opposite we are.
Yeah, but you know, with the thing with Jess, I have like a 50-50 score with her. Like she loved, I think, the Olivia Rose Darling book, The Fear the
Yeah,
Flames, and
Mm-hmm.
I hated that one. But then she loved, I think she loved Phantasma, and then I really like it too. So it's like a toss up. So I don't know if I think with the Sword of Dragon, because she's not the only person that I've heard talking about it that has really raved about it. I
yeah.
think I'm going to love it. but it's a kind of book that really you need to take your time with it because it's another long one,
Yeah.
not a lot of romance in it, so a bit different.
Yeah, see, that's putting me off right there.
Yeah.
A long one with not a lot of romance. Mm.
Yeah.
It sounds like something that people I know would love. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like something I would love.
True. You know, I never buy typically books that I haven't read,
Uh-huh.
but something like a year ago whispered to me that I should buy The Priory of the Orange Tree,
Oh gosh.
That
and
book,
I still haven't read that one.
my
But
gosh.
I'm like, it's sitting there, and it's kind of bothering me that I haven't read it yet. But then I know that also it kind of has a romance, but doesn't really have a lot of romance in it. And I'm like, do I want to read that?
It's so
It's
thick.
it's so giant. It's like I
Yeah,
attempted to read it once. I got 215 pages in, put it down, and have not picked it back up again since. I
I
just,
can imagine.
and I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just thought it was a great idea to buy the prequel also,
Yeah,
the physical copy. And now I'm like, why did I do that? I'm thinking of unhauling them because I don't think I'm ever gonna get back to it.
I feel like the only like chunky books that I tend to like are when I buy them on Kindle or audio and I read them and I don't realize how big they are. And then I'm like, oh, I want this physical copy. And then I buy it and I'm like, how did I read that?
yeah,
Right?
Because I tend to steer clear of the super thick books when I see just how thick they are. I'm like, I don't want to read that.
yeah, me too. You know, I got influenced, obviously. I get very easily influenced by people who are hyping up a lot of books. And like last year, they started hyping up the Binding 13, Keeping 13 books by Chloe Walsh. And those books are like contemporaries that are like 700
They're
pages
so
each.
thick.
Yeah, they're
The
big.
audiobook for the first one is split up in two, and each of them is 15 hours.
Mhm.
And I was like, what is this book? But I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a try.
Uh-huh.
I I wanted to toss my phone in the garbage when I was reading that book because it's the kind of book that I hate. It's a lot of descriptors of mundane things, like they'll
Yeah.
be like, I'm setting the table, and each and every item that I'm setting on the table is described of how I'm setting the table. And I'm like,
Oh my
can we
god.
get to the dinner already? I mean,
Right?
I mean,
and that's what that book is, the first book. And by the end, okay, we get some emotional stuff going on that is very nice. But I was like, I felt like I spent 30 hours finding out nothing. And then there's like five more books, the same length.
Mm.
No way. No way.
I actually read Binding 13. I gave it 3 stars, but I don't think I'm ever going to continue the series.
Yeah.
I look at these super thick books and I'm like, why does it have to be that thick? It doesn't. Like a good number is like 400 to 500 pages, I think.
Like, I think it's wild when you see romance books that are over 500 pages. And I'm like, how much do you have to say in a romance that has to be over 500 pages?
All right. I'm
I
like, I
don't
don't care if
know.
this is the most tragically emotional story ever. Why?
Like, why
Why
is
is
it
it so
necessary?
long? Why are there
Yeah.
so many words?
I mean, I picked up The Striker by Anna Huang,
Yeah.
and it's over 500 pages. I mean, I want to read it, but it's intimidating at the same time.
True. A sports romance should never be over like 350, 400 pages. I don't get it.
Right?
Mhm.
Like, I just think that's wild. I think it's a good idea to do that.
I know.
Yeah. Has any of you read Manacled?
No.
Not yet. I mean, I read the first chapter, and then I just haven't continued.
It just turned me off because I knew it was a Harry Potter fanfic, and I have no interest in Harry Potter at all, so I'm just like,
That's sad.
I don't care.
I'm obsessed with Harry
I
Potter.
want to high five you right now, Becky. I've never read the books. I have not seen the movies. I have no interest in Harry
Okay, so
Potter
I tell
whatsoever.
people all the time I've never read the books. I lie. Okay. I tried to read the first book.
Mm.
I got like 3 chapters in and I was like, wizards. This is so dumb.
I probably would have
And I
loved
gave
it if I had read it when I was a teenager, but then right now it just no, it's not for me.
I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. It's like one of my favorite series ever, besides Throne of Glass.
I watched all the movies and I feel like I got the point.
Well,
I do not care to. There's just something about wizards and teen wizards at that. I'm just like, no, no, thank
I'm
you.
sure my son will at some point make me either read the books or watch the movies, and I'm gonna suffer through them. But I
I
think,
just was not a Harry Potter. Mine
yeah,
was Twilight. I had Twilight, so that was
I
it.
did actually really enjoy Twilight, but I
yeah.
think I liked the there was parts that I liked and parts that I didn't like. However, I was always Team Jacob, and I was so upset that Jacob never really got a shot.
I
I
was
really
Team
hated her.
Jacob in the movie and Team Edward in the books.
However, my favorite Twilight book is Midnight Sun.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't even bother reading that one.
that one is the best out of all of them.
Hmm.
I personally think.
I don't even. All I own is Twilight. I got rid of the rest of them because I was like, I'm never gonna reread these books. So, this is so true, Abby.
Also, I don't know if you heard, but Twilight is also being made into a show.
I've heard. I have
And
no desire to watch
And
it.
Harry Potter is being made into a show also.
No,
The same plot, same characters, but with different people.
no.
What I heard.
I'm just so over
It's
like
so weird.
remakes and reboots and sequels that I
There's
just have no
so
desire.
many things that you can film and that you can write, and then they remake stuff.
Abby, DNF
Ooh,
manacled.
you DNF manacled.
How far did you get? And she actually loves Harry Potter, so
Yeah, at least I got Abby on my side.
I mean, I know people who love Harry Potter. I just could never get into it, so I was just like, yeah, I missed that boat. No. I think the last thing I was like, well, the last thing, the current thing that I'm obsessed with is Bridgerton. And
Ooh.
I think that's the thing that I've been obsessed with the most in a long, long time.
Yeah,
So
my friend
can you
Dana's
tell
really
me,
into
because I saw season one, I haven't read the books. Should I read the books and then watch the other seasons? Or
No, the books
no?
suck, and I only read one of them. I read Romancing Mr. Bridgerton after I watched the show,
Yeah.
and it was god awful.
Uh,
I was like, who thought, who read these books and was like, let's turn this into a show? Because they're a freaking genius, because what they did with the show was like a million times better than what they did in the
Yeah.
books.
I've never read or watched any of it. I've heard nothing but great things about both, but I've also heard mixed things about the books.
Books
So
just
I don't know if I want to or not.
don't put yourself through that misery.
I
Just
was
watch the show. It's a million times better.
It
You're
was so
good.
funny to me. Last year, I went to a book signing, and Julia Quinn was there, and it was like almost like a comedy show where they opened up the doors, and everyone, I mean everyone, no, there's actually two. Everyone was going one or the other way, either for Penelope Douglas or Julia Quinn. So it was like 1,000 people waiting for those two authors, and then everyone else was just leisurely walking around getting to the other authors. And I'm like, okay, I get that she's quite popular, but there's like other authors there. So why
Yeah.
just stand in line for 3 hours to get your book signed only for by
You
one
gotta
author?
really, really love somebody to do that.
Yeah, yeah. And they were like carrying whole box sets so that they can get everything signed,
I
and
mean,
it was
I'm gonna lie, them
Wow.
box sets, even the ones that Barnes and Noble is selling now, they're like hardbacks and they're brightly colored and they have the sprayed
Yeah,
edge.
I've
they're
seen them.
pretty,
They're
yeah.
very pretty.
They're
They
pretty,
are
yeah.
pretty. I've seen them.
I stop and stare at them every time, and then I'm like, nope, you didn't like that book, Becky, so move along.
Right? There's been so many adaptations that it's not even funny, and they're making more adaptations.
Yeah.
Like that Lucy Score series, the Knock 'em Out series one. That's
Like,
being
I'm all for that. Give me something new and fresh instead of remaking these things that have already been made. Like,
yeah,
But I have to say, so some books are really worth it to get series or movies made out of. Like, for example, the Knock 'em Out series. I think they would work better as a movie than as a book because the books are, again, way too long for a contemporary. They're like,
yeah,
again, almost 600 pages.
they are. Like,
we probably will sprint one more time at least.
like, I was trudging through a little bit on the second one. Things we had from the light. I think it's the second one. Like, I was almost gonna like that book was almost a 3-star for me. It got a little bit better at the end, but like, why do those books have to be so freaking long?
Mm.
I hated the second book. The first one I enjoyed. I loved the banter in it, but then the second one I didn't like, so I didn't continue on with the third one. If they
So,
make movies out of them, I'm gonna watch them. Don't get me wrong, but
uh,
contemporary shouldn't be that long.
right.
Mhm.
I still need to read the last one. That's the only one I have left to read. That's the only one I was really interested in reading.
Yeah.
However, I was told you should read the first two first, so I did. I just want to get to Lucian's story.
Yeah.
You just read what you want to read, Amanda. Let me bully you into reading a whole series. Just read
Well,
that
it's
fifth
because
book. We'll be fine.
my friends Dana, Karina, Nikki, and I know you know Kaylani, Becky, but
Uh-huh.
they all said that I should read the other ones. So I attempted it, and the first one I had a hard time with Knox a little bit. The second one I had a hard time with the communication miscommunication aspect, and then yeah, I just wanted to get to the third one, and I haven't yet, but I want to get to it in the new year. Hopefully. That's the only one
I
I'm
think we
really
should
interested
encourage that more. We should encourage just starting a series in the middle of it, just
Yeah.
because that's the story you want to read.
in, right?
I mean, you're gonna get the backstory of the previous characters in that book anyway, so
True.
you
You
just don't have
know,
to go through all their BS to get to their. They're already happy.
I am
Right.
so bad at that because I typically will want to read everything in order, but then I don't read a lot of historical romance.
Same.
And just recently, someone recommended like a fifth book within a series. I think it was called To Woo and to Wed by Martha Waters. And just the premise of it and the tropes in that book, they spoke to me. They were like exactly the kinds of things that I like in a book. And I'm like, I'm not picking up 4 books to get to this. So
Just
I just
read
picked
that
it
one.
up and I really loved it. And I didn't feel like I missed out anything on the other books that I hadn't read. So I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to read more of what I want and less of what I think I need to read?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I'm all for this. We need to make this a thing.
Yeah,
Right.
You do not have to read shit in order if you don't want to.
yeah, for
Unless it
sure.
doesn't make sense.
If one book in a series has tropes you like, just read that one.
Right.
So, that's what I did with Bridgerton. I read the one book that I liked, that had the tropes I liked, and I didn't even like that book, so screw it. And if I didn't like that book that had my favorite tropes in it, why bother with the rest?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, do y'all want to do one more sprint?
Sure.
I'm gonna have to leave you because it's getting close to midnight
It
here.
is getting close to midnight for you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave you, but thank you so much for having me over.
Thanks for
Uh,
joining. Maybe
I'll
you'll get
see
your
you.
book finished in bed
I
since you're so
will, for
close.
sure. And I'll be on the lookout of your thoughts when you finish yours.
All right. Have a good night, Diana.
You too. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
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 All right, you and me. One more sprint.
All right. Let's see.
Oh,
Let
come
me
on
get a
now.
comp up for this one.
Seriously? My thing does not want to cooperate with me.
I hate when that happens.
Okay. Let's try it again. It's like I think it times out on itself.
Um,
So it screws up. There's still gonna be 4 snowmen chasing each other. So one of us will win. All right. I'll see you in 30 minutes.
See you in 30.
me! I finished my book!
Yay!
I gave it 5 stars.
Awesome.
How'd you do?
I did get farther into the Briar Club. 6 hours and 37 minutes at 2 times speed, and I'm just bored.
No! No!
I'm not enjoying it as I thought I would. I know Kate Quinn's supposed to be like this really great author for historical fiction, and I have read another book by her and really enjoyed that one, but this one is just so slow.
Are you gonna push through, or do you think you're gonna DNF it?
I'm thinking I might just DNF because I am not enjoying it anymore, and I'm just like I was just hanging on for dear life. It feels like
I
I
support
just don't
that
think I
decision.
can push through on this one.
DNF it!
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking I might do. I mean, the beginning was interesting. I like the beginning because of the way it started. It's like dual timelines, so we're going like from 1954 back to 1950. Then we keep going back and forth, and it's like it's that part I thought was interesting in the beginning. And there's a little bit of mystery with his dead body. Now I'm just over it at this point. Like nothing is really happening, and it's just like monotonous. And yeah, I'm ready for it to be done.
Are you halfway through it yet?
I'm not even halfway through yet,
Oh. DNF that thing.
right?
That's awful.
Because I read Kate Quinn before and enjoyed her. Just this one, I think she's just taking too much time.
Yeah.
I love historical fiction, so I
Yeah.
was hoping to really love this one. I'm not. Just sad.
No. I'm all for DNFing.
Well,
I
I'd
just
rather go
did a
back.
video today. I did my video where I shared all the books I DNF'd this year and like the reasons.
Oh
Most of
yeah,
them were simply because I was just bored.
yeah. I think I watched and commented on it too.
So I'm like, oh,
I'd
sometimes.
rather go back to Tale of the Heart King when you should do Truly at this point.
Yeah.
Because that one is more fun. And it's on my TBR for the readathon.
Yeah. I started listening to Nectar of the Wicked.
Oh, I've heard so many great things about that one.
I don't know how I'm gonna jive with it. I've realized that Ella Fields. I've read 2 of her other books and didn't really love them.
You
So
and Jess really do clash.
I know, but
Because
I'm
she's
gonna give it a
old.
try. I made it to chapter 3, so we'll see how it goes. It's not a very long audiobook. It's only like 4 hours at 2 times speed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's not too bad.
So it's supposed to be my book for the prompt of snow on the cover.
Oh.
So
Have you seen the Fairyland edition? It's so pretty.
yeah, that's the one I have.
Oh.
There's not snow on the dust jacket. There's snow on the hardcover.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I was about to say I don't
Yeah.
recall the cover having snow, but
It has it. It's got a snowflake on it, and the end papers have snow on it too.
I would count it.
I am. I'm counting it. But we'll see if I get through it all or if I DNF it.
Yeah. Um, but I have like a whole bingo board to get through.
I got my 1 slot, and I made progress. If I could finish The Serpent and the Wolf, that would make 2, but I didn't even make progress in it. I listened to an audiobook because I was going around doing stuff in the house, so
Uh,
hopefully I'll get that one. If I just sit down and like read it, I know I can get it finished today, but
right.
who knows if that'll happen.
Definitely would like to hear your thoughts on that one when you get done with it.
Yeah. It's not bad by any means. So,
Well, that's good.
I think I'm liking the characters, and that's why the whole political aspect of it isn't bothering me, is because I like the characters.
Well, that's good.
And if I like characters, that goes a long way.
Right. If I'm not vibing with the characters, and then I'm not really vibing with the story.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to connect in order to really enjoy something.
Because I am a character, like, I'm a character-driven reader.
Yeah.
The plot could be, like, non-existent, but if I love the characters, I'm good.
And you're good with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way for the most part. It's almost 5 o'clock already.
I know. I need to end these sprints. I need to go get dinner ready. I went longer than I thought I would because I was determined to finish that one book.
At least you got it done, so that's a plus.
Yeah, I got one book done. Yay me! Oh. All right, well, let's end these out. No new comments. So thank you everyone for tuning in. If you came over because of Nina or Diana, thank you so much. I hope you subscribe to our channels. We're pretty cool people, I think.
I think so.
Feel free to join in the readathon. You can find all the graphics over on Instagram, on my stories, on my highlights, or on the Ever After Readathon Instagram. I will try and link some shit in the description of this video once I end it out, if I remember. But yeah, that is gonna be it for us tonight. Thank you, Abby, for tuning in. And we will. I don't know when the next sprints are going to be for this readathon, but keep an eye out and I'll share it on my community tab. Okay? So have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.